and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. They'll put you in jail for smoking an innocent joint, as they get away with murder, stealing billions and billions of dollars on pyramid schemes. In 2006, Bush signed the Military Commissions Act, known as the 666 Act. The act deals with detained persons domestic or abroad. All your rights are stripped, so you have no rights. No right to petition a file for habeas corpus, no right to file a complaint for treatment, no time limit for detainment, no judge warrant is needed, and any means necessary to extract information may be used, even torture, and all officials are immunized from prosecution. 911 helped pass the U.S. Patriot Act. Riot. People gave up their liberties for security, like the Bush and Reagan Rex 84 concentration camps in America. Rex 84, Readiness Exercise 1984, civilian concentration camps.
In your work at the NSC, were you not assigned at one time to work on plans for the continuity of government in the event of a major disaster? Mr. Chairman.
I believe that question touches upon a highly sensitive and classified area, so may I request that you not touch upon that, sir.
I was particularly concerned, Mr. Chairman, because I read in Miami papers and several others that there had been a plan developed by that same agency, a contingency plan in the event of emergency that would suspend the American Constitution. And I was deeply concerned about it and wondered if that was the area in which he had worked. I believe that it was,
May I most respectfully request that that matter not be touched upon at this stage. If we wish to get into this, I'm certain arrangements can be made for an executive session.
A contingency plan in the event of emergency that would suspend the American Constitution, and I was deeply concerned about it.
Federal Emergency Management Agency. It was formed on April 1st, 1979, Fool's Day. And that's why they tell you in Latin, you are not safe. But what is this emergency system preparing for? Certainly not helping out real victims in a real emergency. Taxpayers paying billions of dollars. Not for emergency help, but for emergency control. And that's why the Katrina victims were tagged like cows. FEMA made these trains capable of holding thousands of prisoners. These civilian concentration camps are nationwide, and the disaster sections at FEMA tell you what camp you're going to. Executive Order 11,000 allows U.S. government to mobilize civilians into work brigades. In 1997, Congress admitted these civilian labor camps was a real government program. So as thousands and thousands suffered and lost their homes, Bush and the world elite are having extravagant, elite dinners, playing golf and riding around in limousines. My daughter was watching That's So Raven, and it just so happens that Maria Shriver was on there promoting an emergency preparedness plan, using children to promote Rex 84. So ask yourself, are they really building this huge, gigantic war empire for a simple man from a cave and a few insurgents? Americans don't hate Afghanistans or the Arab people, and they really don't hate us. That is, until we started helping Israel fight them, when they both traced their ancestry back to Abraham and Noah. But Zionist Israel owns America, so they made us get involved. New York Mayor Bloomberg here with the Zionists, using and playing both sides, making us think that the Arabs are the terrorists. But let's turn things around. Let's say a militia group from America went to Russia and took out one of their buildings. These few guys have nothing to do with the other 300 million Americans. But the next thing we know, the Russians invade us. Russian tanks, Air Force, and the Russian Army invading every American home. Just like we are doing in Iraq and Afghanistan, invading every home in the name of terror. As if these people really know where Bin Laden is. Think about it. Do you know everybody in your town, or your state, or everyone across the nation? Just think, what would you do if tanks were rolling down the streets and they were busting into our homes? Wouldn't you, friends and neighbors get together and fight for your land and homes? And they have the nerve to call them insurgents. These guys are fighting for their life. They're not soldiers. Look how they're dressed. They're fighting for their homeland just like Americans were against the Britons. These people are poor and can barely afford clothes and food. These poor and uneducated people are fighting for their lives. But who sells them these weapons? These guys can barely afford a pair of shoes. So somebody somewhere is supplying these guys. The military-industrial complex makes billions and billions of dollars. Secret international weapon sales, selling billions of dollars to third world countries, ending up in the hands of children. And they want you to think that Muslims and Arabs are to blame. But look who is profiting on the war on terror. By the fruits you will know them. They want us to believe that Superman Osama burned and destroyed all the black boxes. The fire resistance is 1100 degrees Celsius or 2012 degrees Fahrenheit. They want us to think he's some kind of mastermind, being able to translate languages. But he doesn't even speak English. He speaks Arabic and Hebrew. Like I said, did he create all this esoteric knowledge and Kabbalistic numerology? September is the beginning of fall, when things die. The etymology of the word September means sept, seven, and ember, burning hot coals. Like ember, timber, or lumber. A warning of a falling tree. Timber! So the very word September means 7 burn or 7 fall. Just like on 9/11 when the 7 buildings fell and burned. 7/11 repeats itself over and over again. 7/11. The zodiac sign on September 11th is Virgo the Virgin, a sacrifice to the virgin Babylonian goddess. AA11, the duality, pyramid, like the black and white male-female symbolism on 911-711. Boeing 767, 77, AA11, 7/11. A 7 is a larger version of a 1. 7 looks like the Hebrew letter Kaf, which happens to be the letter K or 1111. Just like the English word calf. Notice that the L is silent. L is the god Saturn, the horned bull or calf, L. Notice that the Arabic K looks nothing like the Hebrew K. November is the 11th month, but in Latin it means 911. September is the 7th and the 9th month. July is the 7th month, the 90 degrees on the zodiac wheel. Tuesday means the second day, 1-1. Tuesday is known as bad luck or death day, the Great Depression, Mardi Gras, Election Day, and the fall of Constantinople. The Byzantine Empire falls to the Ottoman Empire. The Byzantine Empire existed for 1,100 years. It's interesting to note that the Jewish Colonization Association began on September 11th. The Jewish menorah has 7 and 9 lights, representing the visible planets and the sun. The Jewish Kabbalah has 11 Sephirot, 11 is Daeth. A Nazi, a Nazarite, is a Jew who vows to Numbers 6. Number 11 reads, the priest shall prepare a sin offering and a burnt offering. 3 burnt offerings, a lamb, a ram, and ewe. 7-Eleven reads the burning of the cut hair under the pot in which the